Bots have been trending again on VEVE, and with more proof of it actually being the case. With a lot more users on the platform, people may be worried and panicking about what's going on, what can happen, what should be the fix, and new things that should be implemented. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and watch this video on the channel. Just before we get started, if you do enjoy the content and you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I would love for you to be a part of this community. Alright, so there's a lot of new people on VEVE now. And still some of the OGs will know of the bot issues that have been happening with some of the drops. And yesterday there were some things that came to the light about some people using bots and using scripts in order to get a better chance of getting these drops. Let's dive into it a little bit further to understand what it truly is. Now, I'm not a computer geek and I'm not able to write any of these scripts, but what I do understand from what I've seen is that some have the ability to see where the buy now button is going to be and press that at insane speeds that humans just could not reach. This gives them the better opportunity to tap the buy now button quicker than any human possibly could, which might give them the opportunity then to get the drop before everyone else. There's some others that may do different things, but all of them are trying to do the one thing: get the drops before everyone else by using bots and inhumane speeds. And if we look at it from VEVE's perspective, they're having something that has very limited quantities. So 100 people using 3 different phones and bots on all 3 of them is definitely going to take up some of the space when it comes to the additions that are happening. And does that mean that all of the additions are going to bots and that they're getting it? The thing is, with these bots, you're never guaranteed to actually get the drop. You're just able to click the button at a faster pace. We don't actually know if clicking at a faster pace is going to make you get it or not, as I believe there's a few other mechanisms in place to see if someone actually gets the drop or if it's a luck of the draw. We don't actually know the inner workings of all of the drop system. We just know that you do kind of have to press it as fast as you possibly can to then get the chance of getting the drop. If there's someone out there who actually knows the inner workings of all of it, please let me know in the comments, as I'd love to understand how the drop mechanisms actually work further to be able to make a better comprehensive conclusion on all of this. This is why people have been really upset, because the additions are so low that bots actually utilizing that and getting these drops are just going to take away from the people who genuinely want it. And getting it on different devices is just allowing them to create 20, 30 and 40 accounts to be able to try and go for this. And yes, they may not get it on every one, they potentially could get it on quite a fair few of them if they're lucky enough. Let's actually have a look at some of the evidence that was found yesterday with what people were doing. Now, this is from Cavel's Twitter. Please go check out his YouTube channel and his Twitter account. He posts some great stuff about VEVE. But here is the example of what is happening now in this script right here. This is someone, the script knows where the buy now button is. This person only has to press the cancellation part to be able to go for it again as the bot presses the buy now over and over. Now, this person was able to get 1, I believe, out of 3. It does go to show that you're not guaranteed to get it when this is the case. Here's some more of the evidence that Cavel was shown in regards to the marketplace. Now, this person, all they had to do was click on an item. See, as soon as they click on the item, it goes onto the buy now instantly, and the bot does that for them. They don't have to click it, and it instantly takes them to actually purchasing the collectible. Hopefully they click on it here so we can actually see. As they see on it, it clicks right away and it goes onto it. So this is potentially how they could snipe some things better on the marketplace, and maybe why you're not able to get them when this does happen. Absolutely killing myself yesterday with Cavel's video saying that this person needs the bot because the amount of times they messed up trying to press these buttons was absolutely hilarious. And this person tried to go for them and struggling to even just go back and forth from the collectibles. Finally, the last piece of sort of proof that Cavel was shown yesterday was people who were selling massive amounts of the one single collectible, showing that potentially they could be someone who's using a bot system to get these drops better than anyone else. And it is quite a lot of additions here to be able to see that. You know, you've got quite a few who are selling a fair whack of the same collectible. Could be some things here and there. We've obviously just got to be careful on those fronts. This is the thing that was mentioned yesterday, and seeing what the bots actually do and what the bots actually are. People were speaking publicly in the Discord and Twitter about for VEVE to actually do something about it. Now, I'm going to mention here that there's a reason VEVE don't actually publicly mention what is going on with the bot prevention systems consistently, because when you speak about something, more people are usually spurred on to do it. So if they're telling you, yeah, this is what we're doing to prevent it, then people are going to figure out a way to combat that. So by not speaking about it publicly, they're not given the fire that these bots need to figure out what they can do differently to prevent it. Now, there's nothing wrong with publicly mentioning, yes, we consistently work on the bots, but for 90% of the people, this just doesn't cover it. There's no upside to them mentioning exactly what they're doing to prevent the bot systems, but just know that they have prevented quite a lot of the bots that have been going on, and I guarantee you that they have one of the best systems in order to prevent this. What I'm also going to mention here is that any system, anything that anyone ever does that includes limited drops or limited additions can never stop 100% of the bots. If you're someone who collects physical items and you've been someone who's a part of the sneaker industry, then you will know for a fact that people already purchase bots in order to get Yeezys and Nike products. And we can actually see from these articles that someone managed to get 1,132 pairs alone with a specific bot. And when we come to this Nike version as well and talking about them, we can actually see that they use bots in order to actually get hold of these exclusive items that Nike and Adidas are releasing. What point I want to make here is that anything that is ever limited edition is not 100% foolproof from bots. These are two of the biggest clothing companies in the world and consistently get bots who are purchasing their products that are limited edition. When it comes to VEVE, I'm guessing they are very close in terms of their security systems to stop these bots from actually getting in consistently. So there is definitely things that they are doing to combat this. And Reese even talked to Taps yesterday in his interview about their prevention and what they're doing and how the numbers are lower than people think. This again isn't going to cover it, because saying the numbers are lower than you think and then seeing these videos, it does go to show that it does exist. I am just pointing out the facts that you're never going to 100% combat this. Let's then have a look at the numbers game. Let's look at more numbers and analytical data within this and how we can maybe structure it in a way that could be more beneficial for you to understand. If we take a look here, this was a tweet made yesterday. I'm going to read it out and then give you some of my thoughts. Math time. So you want a raffle system because of bots, which allows all participants equal odds it drops. Okay, let's do the math. Let's say we have a drop of 1,000 total mints and it's 100,000 participants that a 1 in 1,000 chance, or a 0.01% at getting a raffle. For our current style of drops, same mint, 1,000 with the same amount of users of the 100,000, but subtract 90% of the users who have no clue of any of the tips that increase their odds by line gate or rebound or refresh page or font or whatever, so the 100k goes to 10k, and that's being generous. Now your odds are 10%, and that's about what it is for anyone complaining about bots on Twitter or Discord. We all have at least a 1 in 10 chance, which is actually phenomenal when you think of how many actually try to hit the buy now button. And in the future, it will be even lower. So enjoy the 10% chance it drops and buy at the marketplace when you can. But this was a really interesting concept to look at and to truly understand about what is going on. And some people have been bringing up some of the systems, and we're going to talk about the remedies and what VEVE could actually do to make the drops fairer when it comes to this. This does go to show that we have to think about all the small advantages that we can give ourselves in regards to getting the drops and what the percentage chance of actually getting them is. Reese actually mentioned yesterday that there were around 150 to 200,000 users going for the Walt Disney drop. Excluding all bots and all malicious ways of trying to get the drop, your chances of getting a drop with one device would have been 0.0215%. No matter what you had done, no matter what had happened, that was your chances compared to everyone else who was actually going for this. And what this person was saying is that if you know all the drop techniques and you've got all the slight advantages that you could potentially get to get this drop better, then your chances do go up. But that is the base level value of a drop system with that amount of people going for it. And we're going to discuss that a little bit more when we discuss the raffle system. I understand that people are very upset with the things that are going on right now, but I would also like to note that VEVE have probably done a lot of different things over the long run to actually help with bots. Remember, their aim by the end of this year was to get 60,000 users on the app, and alone during the 3 to 4 days that the Disney drops were going on, Reese said that around 100,000 downloads actually happened alone. But they have surpassed massively what they thought they could ever get on this app purely through the Disney drop alone. Never mind everything else that has brought people in from the past. Okay, so we've talked about the bots and we've talked about what is actually the meaning behind it and then maybe some of the data that we need to pay attention to. But how do we actually solve this? What are the remedies? Because there's no point of screaming on social media and screaming on Discord about this is unfair, I hate VEVE, they should be banned, when we're not actually coming up with solutions. We are someone who's investing in this company, we want to see this company grow, and they've continued to listen to some of the community's advice, then we need to stand up and actually speak about some of the remedies that could be used in regards to this. Let's discuss that then. The first one is the raffle system, which we talked about before. Now the problem with the raffle system is about the numbers game. If you're someone who's really upset about not getting any of the drops right now, but you know all of the little tricks and details that you can learn from this channel in regards to actually getting the drops, then a raffle system lowers your chances even further, meaning that you probably have less of a chance of getting the drop. Now, if you're okay with that, then that is perfectly fine, but you have to understand the ups and downs to every choice that you decide to make when it comes to this. A raffle system could give people either 2 to 5 seconds to actually get involved when it comes to each drop, drop. And this is going to be something that you have to take into consideration, that a lot more people are going to have the opportunity to actually get the drop, meaning you have a less chance of getting the drop as a base user. The second one is the MCP lottery. Now the lottery is going to be coming out with the Master Collector program, and this is going to shift the narrative a little bit in regards to the drop system, as you're going to be able to wager some of your points to get these. Now most bots are probably not going to spend a lot of active time on VEVE itself, so these drops in particular are going to be focused towards the active users of VEVE, and you're most likely going to be competing against other people who are enjoying the app and have been on the app quite consistently. This is going to eliminate most of the bot sort of services with that, really because it's a wager against other people with currency that doesn't really exist, it's just involved in VEVE. So this will be a good way to eliminate a little bit of that threshold when it comes to the additions that are giving to this lottery system. The third one is CAPTCHA, and this was introduced a while back but has since not made an appearance, maybe in about a month or two when it comes to this. I think it's just another aspect that people would like just added for a little bit of more verification, a little bit of an add-on when it comes to each drop. I don't know if VEVE removed it because they believed that everyone who filled in the CAPTCHA was okay and confirmed to not be a bot, but this really isn't the case. And I think maybe adding that on could just add a little bit more of security to the system. I don't know everything behind CAPTCHA and how much it really works in regards to all the systems they've already got in place, but I know for some that would give a little bit of peace of mind that they have to fill in this CAPTCHA before they actually buy the drop. If someone has 25 devices that they're using this bot on, I highly doubt they're going to be able to complete all CAPTCHAs in 90 seconds. So it could again lower that chance of them getting all the drops and that sort of stuff. And the final one we're going to mention is the KYC, which is Know Your Customer. It's something that banks use to help with fraud, just to verify that customers actually exist and this is who the identity is being. This would mean that all users would most likely only be able to have one account, and they would have to identify themselves in order to actually do this. So by identifying yourself, you know that you're not a bot, and they know that you're not making tens of thousands of accounts in order to go for these drops with a bot system. You have one account per one identity, and it allows you to go for the drops in that sense. That will allow you to prove that you're not someone who's using that bot and actually go for it. And all of these have their ups and downs, and we have to understand that as a whole. If we do add in all of these things that I've mentioned right here, there's going to be more likely a less chance of getting some drops here and there, and there are still going to be bots no matter what. You can never eliminate 100% of the bots, and I want to make that very clear. If you are someone who's complaining right now and wants all bots gone, it's never going to happen. As VEVE evolve, so do the people who are using the bots. It's just the same cycle over and over again. If companies like Adidas and Nike, who have been around for a long time and been doing drop systems for a good few years now, still can't combat all of the bots, VEVE isn't going to be able to either. All of these can definitely add value to allowing people to get a better feeling of knowing that they have a chance of getting a drop against other users. They're not competing solely against bots, but rather that. What's my thoughts on all of this? What do I believe is the best way to go about handling this? Now, I do believe that VEVE has actually made incredible waves in lowering the number of bots that can go for these drops. As I said, a lot of new users have came on in a very short space of time, so being able to do that and have that turnaround time this quickly is very good. And they have mentioned before that the data does show there's a very limited amount that are going for this. I do believe that some of these systems are the best way forward, especially with CAPTCHA just being introduced for a state of mind and a psychological play that everyone feels a little bit safer on that front, as well as KYC, allowing people to have one account and going for each drop on that one account. The only issue with this is it lowers the barrier to entry for some people. Some people want to buy the drops there and then, and they don't really have the attention span to do everything that these things are. But as the crypto world moves forward, most of them do actually require KYC. And I think once we move to immutable, that is going to be something that will come into play. What I also hope is that VEVE continue to do different types of drops for different types of things, and maybe even switch it up once in a while to allow different systems to see the data and what actually works and what doesn't. I understand a lot of people are frustrated when it comes to bots and scripts using to get these drops. But again, I want to reiterate that VEVE is a very young company. They've been striving forward with a lot of good things. Yes, I'm frustrated as well. It is annoying that people are exploiting the amazing community that we are building here. But please don't let that deter you from supporting a company that's really made a massive difference in this NFT space, and I think will continue to do so. What's your thoughts on the situation and some of the things that we've spoken about today? Do you think that's the right move forward, or do you think what I've said is completely wrong? I would love for you to know, and I would love to chat in the comments about it. I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.